Hello there. In this tutorial, I'm going to discuss about installation of Hyper-V. So it's different from Windows Server 2008. Whatever we used to learn till now, we used to do a practice in Windows Server 2008, but this time we are using Windows Server 2008 R2. After R2 edition, the 64-bit edition of Windows operating system, Microsoft introduced Hyper-V, hypervisor, or hyper virtualization, whatever he wants to say. This is the new technology Microsoft introduced for virtualization. Before, Microsoft used to have a Windows virtual PC, which is a very lightweight virtual software. But after Hyper-V, a new revolution kind of thing came from Windows, and this time they used to buckle this hyper virtualization uh, into their operating system. Now this is a 64-bit operating system R2. Currently we are using Windows Server 2008 R2, which is 64-bit, and you can see that rows are introduced, 17 rows. In 2000, the rows used to be 16, and now the rows are increased to 17. Similarly, the rows are increased in 42, and in 2008 some 35, 36 rows used to be there. Now you can see Hyper-V, and you have a description there from Windows. It provides these services, and you can read that entire thing. But the entire process of Hyper-V is that it allows you to create virtual machines on your physical machine. Means you can create a lots of machines for testing purpose. The entire documentation is there, rules in order to create a virtualized server computing environment using a technology that is a part of Windows Server 2008. And overview of Hyper-V, you can read that it has lots of uh, benefits, and the basic benefits that you can create more and more virtual operating system. Now in the nowadays you may have using VMware VirtualBox, but studying Hyper-V is a need. If you are looking forward to clear examination of Microsoft, then Hyper-V is the most important topic. And you can create a Hyper-V for testing purpose. Lots of and nowadays new operating systems are increasing in developing. So for developing purpose, like preview versions, customer versions, you can have lots of things. Like when Windows 8 introduced a 2.3 trial version comes to us, and people we used to get that for having a feedback. So this is where the virtual machines are basically for testing purpose. Now Hyper-V is available on 64-bit operating system, so that since the operating system is now 64-bit, then your processor, the main thing, the processor should be a 64-bit compatible. Similarly, the processor should enable Intel. If the processor of Intel, then it's VT, and if the processor is of AMD, then it should have AMD-V, means AMD virtualization. You can read entire introduction of Hyper-V from here, things to note. And so this is R2 64-bit operating system, so 64-bit operating system should be there, and it compatible with virtualization. Now moving forward, to install Hyper-V, you can see this create virtual networks. So since we can create a virtual environment, we can create a virtual network also. Local area connection, network depth is already there in my server, and I can distribute this network adapter to the uh, to the virtual networks also, so I can share that. I will select that. I'm going to select it, or you can proceed like that also. So I'm just installing Hyper-V. So remember one thing before to proceed. All these new processors or third generation processor, uh, virtualization starts compatible. The processors start compatible to virtualization from in third generation mainly, and the speed, the clock rate, everything increased with those processes. Those are compatible to 64-bit operating system, and those are having a virtualizations. So if you are using Intel processor, then you should have a VT, Intel Virtualization Technology. And if you are using AMD, then you should have AMD virtualization. So virtualization is the key thing to use Hyper-V mainly, otherwise it could create a problem. In the market, we have VMware VirtualBox, which no matter where you run, we're going to work out. Now, since installation is done, it will ask me to restart. And once we restart, we have a Hyper-V option in our operating system. We're going to proceed with that. Um, and you have all kind of documentation from Windows on the rows option. You can go with, read those and learn about more. Currently I'm restarting my system, but this is where once again I'm going to repeat that your operating system should have a 64-bit compatible operating system and should have the virtualization technique, and virtualization should enable in your BIOS. Go to BIOS, enable the virtualization, and stop practicing Hyper-V, because this is what Microsoft is being.